Hey, this is Raise Radio, a holistic wisdom podcast for women and a place of wellness. Here we create transformations and perspective shifts in the style of oral storytelling, an ancient human art. This show is full of handcrafted teachings of love and light in life. However, it does not shy away from the darker and heavier tales in life. It's real, it's raw, it's Ray. Head over to my website, link is in the podcast description, and get your free 3-email training on how to end guilt around willpower, figure out your cravings, and finally stop the mind games so that you can actually heal your relationship with food. Food should be easy, so let's get you there. Thanks for listening today.
The disease isn't a killer robot, but a small, insidious, but consistent and growing dependency on ChatGPT for everything in your life. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Raise Radio. Today, I want to talk really briefly about why I choose to not use AI in my life or business. This is the big brother we were warned about for years, decades. There is someone that I had been following for a very long time that sent out an email recently about how AI was God, and they believed that because they were having mind-blowing conversations with it. And I just was so sad to hear that this person believes that scrapings of the internet is God. I mean, you've been fooled. If you went to someone for healing and all they did was grab out their phone and Google your symptoms and scoured your astrology and cobbled it together and read it to you in the form of a plan, would you really feel that they had knowledge and wisdom and sight? Like, personally, I would feel cheated. I would feel like I just got scammed by a grifter. I know that in our life today, people are so desperate for meaning, for connection, for creation. But AI has no morals, it has no values, it has no empathy. It's just grabbing information and squirting it back at you. We want our life experiences to have meaning and texture. I want to be really clear that I have never used ChatGPT. I refuse to outsource my creativity. And I won't use data scrapers, stolen words, and claim them as my own. I won't use them for Facebook posts. I won't use them for my membership group. I won't use them for emails or texts. I don't use it. Leaders think for themselves. This is really a conversation about loneliness. This is really a conversation about people's life significance. You know, people, like I said, are so desperate for creation and connection. But if we're turning to technology for our spiritual life or our God, it's leading us down this spiral of techno-spiritualism. And I know this is growing at an alarming rate. I've watched a lot of very interesting videos on YouTube about it. And it's very disturbing. It's disturbing that we've reached this point where digitalism and tech is intersecting with New Age and spiritual thoughts and spiritual beliefs. When we cross those two together, that intersection is transhumanism, which, if you haven't explored transhumanism, it is the combining of humans and robots. Now, I know that there's, a pull to that for people. They can escape the discomfort of our humanness or transcend our human self. But the deeper you go into true spirituality, the more that you find the divine within your own body. You don't have to search for it outside of you. And we won't be able to find it in tech. If we're craving and desperate for meaning, creation, and connection, we find ways to find that in our life. Part of the reason why I moved my teachings off of Meta and onto a private platform was because I learned that the data scrapers were looking at everything. It was a bold move for me to stop teaching on social media. I had been teaching on social media for over a decade. But when this happened, it showed me that, there's this really deeper cultural issue going on We are so distanced from a simple existence. We are so distanced from a happy, healthy life. And one of the things that really, pushed me over the edge when I was considering starting to move away from teaching on social media was I put up a post in a community group, and it was very simple. It was very basic. It was just encouraging people to eat real whole foods. And there was a comment put on this post where I was publicly shamed and called a racist, elitist, ableist, and capitalist who ignores science. I have been through a lot in my life. I have overcome a lot of darkness in my life, and this was probably one of the craziest things I've ever experienced. We are so far removed from our roots. How did we get to a point where simply recommending other people eat real food from nature becomes this wildly angry, political, divisive conversation? Well, again, it just points to a deeper cultural issue. If we're so distanced from what a healthy relationship with food and what a healthy relationship with the land looks like, we could arrive at a place where it's actually better to attack people rather than to just focus on our own health and well-being. It's classic, and it's so sad, this defense mechanism. But, when I'm helping people heal their relationship with food, it doesn't have anything to do with a hatred of society or an anger about money. Those are very specific choices that are very separate from choosing healthy food. I am not a fan of new holistic cult practices. I am not a fan of self-harm disguised as healing. If you look at how people get pulled into cults, the formula involves isolating people and giving them a sense of power or superiority. I definitely see that in these conversations around techno-spirituality. And I just want to ring the alarm bells or put out a PSA. If you just ground into your body and take a nice deep breath, do you understand how much power and divinity is already sitting in your own body, mind, and spirit, ready for you to access?
Hey, thanks for making time to listen to Raise Radio today. I really appreciate you. If you head on over to my website, www.lutesnutrition.ca, you can get some food for your soul. I'm giving away my Food and Healing Make Stress and Overwhelm a Thing of the Past guide. It gives you everything you need to end the mind games, stop agonizing about whether or not you're doing wellness right, and end your nightly cravings. It is free on my website, lutesnutrition.ca. Head there now and you can grab the guide for yourself. Thank you so much for listening today.